Hello, and welcome. I am, of course, welcoming myself because this is my first video. And as such, I'm pretty nervous, but it's fine. It's also like midnight, but who cares? So, I'm starting off with a sketchbook tour because I have 6 to go through, and I will go through the rest of them within the next couple days, hopefully, but we'll see. Probably not, but I did 6 sketchbooks in 2024 with my neighbor. We created a jar of art challenges, and one of the challenges that I came up with is that we each pick out a sketchbook for the other person, and it has to be filled by the end of the year. And naturally, we were thinking about sabotaging each other by getting those like 600-page, super thin, terrible paper ones off of Amazon that are just terrible, right? But we actually went to a couple art stores and didn't buy any until we found one that we both liked. And that my dumbass self looked at it and like, oh my god, 40 sheets, 80 pages. Well, if there's 80 pages, that means there's 160 pages if we do back to back. No, that's how you get the 80 pages, not the 160, because I'm stupid. And I was like halfway through the first sketchbook, this one, and I was like, so there's an issue. I'm gonna be going through like 4 of these sketchbooks in the year, right? So yeah, that's why I have 6. I'll try to go through them all within due time, but today we're just gonna do the first one. And these are the sketchbooks from Hobby Lobby. They're called Master's Touch. I don't think they're Bristol board. They're sketchbooks. I mean, yeah, they're 10 by 10, and I think they're like $16. This year, however, I am doing the Ohuhu marker pad sketchbooks that have double the amount of paper for the same price. This one is 8 by 8 instead of 10 by 10, and this is what it looks like right now. And the back. And I like it so far. I haven't put any markers on it because mine are dead, and I can't buy any more because they're out of stock. But I'm working on it. So yeah. I didn't paint the cover to the one I just showed you because it's a pain in the ass. I did it 6 times last year. So, without further ado, this is the cover that I painted on the first one. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, so I asked some friends on Discord, and one of them sent me a picture of these mushrooms. I'm like, that would be cool for a really creepy forest scene or something. So I decided to do that, except it doesn't look creepy anymore, but I still like it. And I don't do shit with nature, like, ever. So all 6 sketchbooks that I did, I have some kind of nature theme painted on the front as practice for me. Yeah, this is with acrylic. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I really didn't know what I was doing. I'm sure if you paint, you can probably tell, but you know, I had fun, I learned a little bit, and that's what matters. I'd rather be having fun with something than be good at something, just saying, but yay. So this was the inner cover, and this is my OC, who I'm not gonna say her name because I'm thinking about changing it. And this is one of my favorite drawings I did the entire year. It says, "Welcome to Hell. Sketchbook from Hell," some of the albums that she did, the Metallica Black album, because of course, the date I started this February 2nd, and I finished it March 19th, and yeah, Bleach poster, because Bleach forever. I'm also recording with my phone because I don't know what to do. Yeah. I didn't do this until like halfway through the sketchbook because I had no idea what I wanted to do for the inner cover. Then I'm like, oh my god, I should draw my OC being super cool and rad. So I did. And it's mostly Ohuhu markers with a little bit of colored pencil for like the fishnets and some of her tattoos. I had the white gel pen for some of the details, and I did some glitter, and glitter is an enemy to like everybody that I know, myself included, but I think it went well. So yeah, here's me planning out the cover. Oh, this random person, I don't know. And yeah, also Hyunk Hyunk am Goose. Cause yeah, I'm gonna be really awkward the whole time. I hope you know that. I wanted to do bones because I'm like, oh, I could do bones with flowers. Well, I hated it, and I'm like, well, I could fill the rest of this spread as like bone practice or whatever. Well, I didn't use a reference, so it's incredibly inaccurate and shit. And I'm like, oh my god, wait, Grimjow, my favorite character ever, has a bone on his face, so I'm gonna do that. So I do that, and then I'm like, well, I should just draw Grimjow then. So I drew Grimjow from Bleach as his Spirit Society sub-story version from the game Bleach Brave Souls, because I love Grimjow. Grimjow is my wife. Incredibly late. I watched Drawing with Waffles 100 Heads Challenge, and I'm like, you know what, that looks like fun. I want to do that, even though I watched the video like 5 years later than it was posted. I only did 10. It took me 3 days. And yeah, it didn't really last very long, but I had fun doing the ones that I did. This one was my favorite. I don't know why I drew this one super small, because I feel like it could have been better if I did it bigger. But this one was my favorite. Yeah. This is an OC I created after watching Hazbin Hotel. I have since abandoned her, but I did like her design. I thought she was kind of cool. I actually decided to create her after I came across one of those things on TikTok, like those pause games, like this is a special feature that your character has or whatever, and got third eye, and I'm like, oh my god, it'd be cool, she got an eye on her back. So that's how this entire thing started, from a TikTok video. And you know, it is what it is. Yeah. And some dress designs, cause why not? And then my neighbor and I did a jar challenge. We drew from the jar, and it was a palette challenge. I'm like, wait, this is perfect for Law from One Piece. And then, like, I think it was around the time that female Law had gotten animated or drawn in the manga. I don't remember, but I'm like, I could do female Law. Except I'm not good with colors, so it didn't work that well. And if you can see where I've taped a square as I've edited it, because it was bad. But you know, progress is progress, gains are gains. Law, I love Law. Lucifer from Hazbin Hotel, and a duck. For obvious reasons. I did start to make this one digital, and then I both hated it and forgot about it. So yeah, and then when I was doing this one, I could not get his face right for the life of me. And he kept reminding me of Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls, like old 2014 Tumblr twink Bill Cipher fan art. But yeah, and then I was practicing drawing like fiddles and like how you hold the bow for the fiddle for the drawing I said I made digital, and I don't know, it's just a mess. I don't like this page. I don't like the page. Yeah, another Lucifer page. Should take my rings off. They're gonna clamp on the desk, and that's not fun. Featuring Alistair. I do like this one. This one was done with Sharpie S note markers that are meant for journaling. I don't know why, but yeah. I don't know. I don't really have much to say. I hope that you can, okay, because my light's pretty bright and like the graphite is glaring to me, but it looks good on the camera. Well, it looks not glaring on the camera. My OC again, I was trying to figure out the colors, and I wanted to do kind of like an Arlecchino eye if you play Genshin, because, I mean, obviously. Also, I have like 300 wishes saved for her, and I'm guaranteed, so I hope I get her. I'm still not sold on the colors. I don't dislike them, but ultimately it doesn't matter because I've since scrapped her. And I tried to do it with the Sharpie S Note markers again, and the colors just weren't coloring, you know? So I forced myself to use my colored pencils. I shouldn't say force, because I do like using colored pencils, but they can be a pain in the ass sometimes. Especially if I'm not sure where I'm going with the drawing, which I wasn't. Yeah. Bleach page, because I love Bleach. Also, I think my dad pissed me off this day, and I'm like, I want to draw my favorite anime, so. I've got Renji, except I know I've drawn him better. I've got Rangiku, which I actually like this one, and it made me realize, wow, I've never drawn her. Shuhei, definitely could have drawn him better, but I like him, and yeah, I had to draw him. Izuru, I probably said his name wrong, because what the hell? But I couldn't get creative, so I just drew him from when he was killing that one Orankar, which I forget his name. The bird guy. Yumichika being slay as always. Ikaku and featuring Zoro. Yoruichi, I've definitely drawn her better, and I should draw her again. Shansui, Kiraku, I don't know, whatever you call him. I really like his design, but I can never draw him. Like, anytime I draw him, it doesn't look good. I don't know. And Grimjaw, of course, I love Grimjaw. At the end of the year, my neighbor and I were gonna exchange sketchbooks to see what the other person did, and she told me that she was into DSMP, and like, I have a grudge against that for some reason. Like, I was never into it, but I think just because they use, one of them uses Kisuke as their avatar or whatever. I'm like, no, he's a Bleach character. So I wrote a bunch of shit about that. She didn't see it. She like skim-tasted it. I was like, man, I wrote that for nothing. I was cringe for nothing. How about Ichigo, Rukia? Definitely could have drawn him better. I don't know how to say his name. Byakuya. I really like this drawing and want to paint it or make it digital. You think it's been a year, I would have done it by now, but no. Nell, Kukaku, Unohana Retsu, even though it looks terrible, and Uryu, which don't like the drawing, it sucks. But hey, you know what? I wonder. Well, he doesn't suck, but the bow sucks. And Lucifer, I guess. Out of all these, I think Byakuya's drawing was the best. Some more. Oh, this one was another jar challenge, an extra long lead challenge, and I use the big mechanical pencils, and I should have counted how many times I broke the lead because it was so crazy. Well, not crazy, it was just like, why did I decide to do that? It was such a waste. I don't know. Then I was gonna make a TikTok about my OCs looking like me because I tend to base them on myself, and I've been trying not to do that lately and altering them so that they don't look like myself. Also, I don't look like them anymore. My hair is different. But I couldn't do it digitally, so I had to do it in here, and it worked. So whatever. And Law, because I hadn't drawn him in a while. I love Law. And then expression challenge, except I didn't go very far with it, with my neighbor, featuring Tartaglia, of course. And then this was after I had done my inner cover, and I wanted to draw that OC. And that's where she becomes one of my most drawn characters in all 6 sketchbooks, and the one I've started now. This is the only time you'll ever see me draw her use her powers, which kind of makes you forget that she even has any. But she's a musician, and yeah, I really like drawing her because she's cool. Yeah. There's my dog, Kaido. Except that one, that's just a boxer I decided to draw in like 15 seconds. And that's my old dog, Goose. He has since passed, but I wanted to draw him. But the rest of these are Kaido. This was the day that I got him, and this was when he was posted on the website. And he was listed under Stan. He's kind of an asshole, but I love him. And then I was rewatching the Marvel movies. I have to finish rewatching them, but unlikely. And I'm like, damn, it'd be kind of cool if I had a Marvel OC, because who doesn't have a Marvel OC? Well, me, apparently. So I decided to make one. And I usually don't try to make my OCs like really OP or anything, but I really wanted to make her OP because you know what? Who cares? And I could not settle on her design. I really wanted to stray from what I usually do with the hair and everything. And it's different, but it's not that different. And then I ended up making her look like Eren Yeager. Yeah. And after this page, you'll never see her again. This was me trying to do her powers and what she had. She doesn't have wings. That's blood, by the way. I'm like, how else do I draw her powers that aren't just her standing there? Like, what? I don't know. I still don't hate her design or anything. I just kind of forgot about her. Some favorite characters from various different medias. I've got Sukuna. I draw him a lot more than I thought. Madara, Crollo, Dabi, or Toya, Grimjaw, of course, and Law. Yeah, I've definitely drawn Madara better, and him. I used to draw him all the time. Like on my Instagram, he was the only thing I'd ever draw, like ever. Which is weird, because Grimjaw is my favorite character of all time. You'd think it would have been him, but it's not. Another challenge where my neighbor said, like, let's just go on Pinterest and find something random to give each other to draw. So she gave me this, and I was kind of upset because she gave me something AI to draw. I don't think she realized it was AI, but obviously I've since told her, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that. But I think I did it better because it's not AI, duh. And then some more plants, because I was weirdly in my plant era for this sketchbook, even though I'm not good at plants, like, at all. Trust me, I've tried and they all die. Yeah. I wanted to use crayons. Like, I just randomly decided I want to use crayons, even though I had this love-hate relationship with crayons, and by that I mean I had this hate relationship with crayons, and the way that I hate them. I'm like, I want to use them. So I'm like, I'll draw my friend's cats. But I'm not gonna look at the colors I pull. I'm just gonna grab and whatever I get, I have to settle with. So this one looks like an LSD cat or something, and this one looks almost normal. The rest of these I did not use references for. Well, no. This one I didn't use a reference for. I don't remember if I used one for this one or not. It weirdly looks like it doesn't, but I think this is the only one I did. And this reminds me of when I was drawing like warrior cats in like 4th grade, which is even weirder because I never read warrior cats. I don't know. Weird, man. I wanted to do anatomy studies with Law. Only did one. Drew my OC. No, I don't really like it. And I ran out of room. And like, no, I didn't. And then I'm like, no, I did. And I wanted to draw a Eustace kid. Didn't get very far. And then it was Sanji's birthday. So I'm like, I should draw Sanji, except I hate it. Ah, yes. So this, we pulled from the jar, my neighbor and I, and it was an ice cream OC challenge from TikTok, I think. So I wrote down what my things were, and this is the route that I took. Although I don't think this is my favorite ice cream anymore. But I really like her design, and at the end, they're like, and if you're an artist, or no, if you, extra points if you add a background or something. And my dumbass, I'm like, a background, like a story. Okay, so I'm gonna do some research, I'm gonna do this and this. I meant like a background. So I did like a lot of research on like witchcraft and stuff, and like various African cultures to make her. This is not in line, I'm sorry. I actually had a lot of fun doing it, and I really like her. I still draw her sometimes, and I still kind of want to write her story because I have a couple ideas for it. Yeah, I really like her. I never did the actual drawing though. She never left my sketchbook. But I had a lot of fun creating her. Trigger warning for the next page. It's bugs, horror, I guess. I had to stop drawing it because I don't like spiders, and there's spiders, I don't like it. Both of these were challenges from the jar where we pick a medium that for the other person, and we both apparently hate each other because she's like, you hate charcoal, so I want you to use charcoal, and I'm like, well, you know what, I'm gonna have you use one of those super cheap, terrible wooden number 2 pencils with the shitty chalky eraser. And so this is what I did with mine, and I had to stop drawing it because I'm like, you know what, all these spiders, I'm gonna throw up, I can't do it. And then the same day we're like, you know what, I'm still feeling productive, we should do something else. So we drew from the jar, and it was just do figure studies or figure drawings, whatever. So yeah. And then back to my OC, I wanted to draw one of the rooms that I think she'd have in her house, like a sunroom with a bunch of plants, and some, like a rug that she may have made or something, and her snake up top. So yeah, it's a bit scribbly and scrunkly, but I don't ever draw anything like that, so gains are gains. And then more of her, because it's not an OC without trauma, you know? Law page, of course. I don't know who that is though. That's obviously not Law. That's not him either. I don't know what you're talking about. I love Law. One Piece page. I love this one. I got the reference off Pinterest, and I'm like, you know what? This is perfect for Robin, naturally. So, Robin, I wanted to draw Ashura Zoro, and it sucks. So don't look at that one. I want to draw a killer, and it's not as bad as I thought it was when I had originally done it, but it's still not that great, you know? So, and I want to draw him again, like an actual drawing of him. I don't hate it, but it's so hard to draw him because I want to give him eyebrows so bad, but I can't because he has none, but I want to. And Crocodile, Luffy, of course, Bon Clay, I forgot her name, Boa Hancock. His eyes are a little funky, but I really liked him. And Yamato, of course. And then I hate this page. I hate it so much. What is going on here? I wanted to draw him, but it sucks that I drew Law and Luffy kicking Doflamingo, obviously. This smoker drawing is not as bad as I originally thought it was, so I should shut up. And this was better in my head, but as most things are, of course. This is from that one thing on Twitter, if you've seen it, where you draw a hand like perfectly spread out like this and the camera's like facing this way. And my neighbor and I decided to do that. I'm like, I got the perfect character to use this for. So, of course. And then we were like chilling in my room, my art room. We're like looking at all my art supplies just sitting in the cabinet. We're like, what if we did something that we never do? And I'm like, you know what? I haven't used watercolor since I was like 8. Let's grab it. So that's why it looks terrible, but I redeemed myself that next night. This is one of my bleach OCs. I have 2 names for her, so we'll see which one I call her in the future. And then this was my OC that I used for the inner cover, except it sucks, but I redeemed myself, so it's okay. And I'm like, I want to practice watercolors, so that's what this was. Because I'm like, well, I read somewhere or watched a video, I don't know, that you should practice doing like washes. And every single one of them sucks, but I'm like, I can't just have a page of washes, because that goes against my rules of a full page. So I'm like, I'll draw some plants and Tartaglia, I guess, except colored pencil on watercolor is so chalky, and like, you know, I feel like if you touch a ceramic that hasn't gone through the kiln yet or whatever, I don't do pottery, and it's like really chalky and terrible, or walls that don't have the glossy color on it, or the gloss paint, and then like your entire body just, you want to dissolve your bones in acid and peel your skin off. Like, that's how it feels. And then Blade, of course, and Jingwon, because I'm like, you know what? I really like these characters. Why haven't I drawn them yet? Except they look terrible. I love Blade, by the way. He is the only character I use on HSR. I never got him, but whatever. Jar challenge, we did perspective. And this one accidentally lined like right where the page split, so that face is a little, it's great. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, so those are some of those. And then we did a scribble art challenge. I'm like, you know what would be cool to do this with? It's one of those biblically accurate angels. That's what I did. And then I filled the page with some more. Except that one, I guess. I don't know. A weird obsession with those, I guess, for a page. Even though they all kind of look a little scribbly, but you know what? It is what it is. Then, at this point, I was like kind of rushing the end of this sketchbook because I knew that I was almost done with it, and I also knew that my neighbor was almost done with hers. I'm like, oh, I gotta beat her. Don't do that, because that's how you end up with really messy art that you don't like this one. I hate it. But I'm like, you know, the fastest way to fill my sketchbook is probably to draw my OC. So that's what I did, except I hate them. This one I don't hate, but it's not the greatest. And I didn't draw her tattoos. I didn't draw her tattoos in any of these, I guess, but whatever. And this guitar is too big. I hate this. I hate it. I hate it so much. I'm like, oh my god, I could expand my blood count if you've been seeing that in my sketchbook throughout this one. Except you can't really tell what's going on because I rushed them, because I'm like, I gotta fill the pages. No. This one I like though, and I ended up making a character out of him. He's just a guy. I don't have a story or anything for him. And this is me creating like exactly what he looks like. His name is Hank. I don't know. I think I just want to be as creepy as possible with it. Look at all this blank space that I wasted. When I was at her house, I was like, because we were both talking about rearranging our rooms. I'm like, what if your room was the size and the same layout as mine, how would you arrange your furniture in my room? And then I did my stuff in her room. I don't know, it's kind of boring to look at, but it's fun to do, I guess. And I'm like, I want to do more architecture, so I did some quick studies that I gained nothing out of, because what? And then I'm like, well, I also want to do some mechanic stuff too, because I know nothing about that. So I did some quick studies of that I also gained nothing out of. I'm like, I should reward myself for doing this by drawing something with mechanics. So I drew a car. It's the best car I've ever drawn, probably ever will draw. And I'm like, I asked her, I'm like, what should I do as a reward for doing this? She's like, you should draw a circuit board. I'm like, are you freaking serious? A circuit board? So this was very meticulous and terrible, and don't recommend it. Like, well, let's draw organs. And so I drew organs, and what they reminded me of, the pancreas reminded me of a corn on the cob for some reason. I don't know, I kind of like drawing weird shit like this, but I would have a reason for it other than to fill the page, I guess. Obviously, like I said, I had just rearranged my room, and I'm like, I want to make a bunch of art for my walls. So I like kind of made makeshift canvases and like quick sketches of what I was gonna do, except the thing is, I haven't done any of these. I know, it's awesome. And this was actually something I found on Amazon, but it's like cheap and terrible, and in my mind I'm saying I can do it better. I don't know anything about clay, it's gonna be a disaster. But at least it won't be cheap. And then this was heart anatomy for this idea, but it was a waste of my time because I would never even try to do it. But I will recommend 3dmodels.org if you need models for something. There is another one I use in the future that is even better, but I forget what it's called. But I was able to spin the model of the heart around and draw it from different angles. And so yeah, that was my sketchbook. This is my first sketchbook of the year, and I hope you enjoyed. Again, I will try to get to the others in due time. Not tonight though, because it is like past midnight. Yeah, so thanks for coming to my channel, because it's my first video and I'm nervous, and I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. And I also don't want my dad to come up and be like, what are you doing? No, me? Nothing, I do nothing. So yeah, thanks, and have a good night.